This is the Body User Manual Podcast, and I'm Dr. David Quartell, and today we're going to be talking about one of the most overlooked drivers of pain, one of the most overlooked drivers of performance or ill performance and impacting our long-term health. It's about your posture. And if you've ever wondered why you might feel stiff, feel tight, complain like, oh, I feel much older than I should feel, then this episode is absolutely for you. What I'd like to do is I want to start with this. Wherever you're listening, wherever you're sitting right now, whatever activity you're doing right now, if you can, I mean, of course, if you're walking down a hill or something, don't. But if you're able to do this right now, I want you to freeze. Don't fix your posture just yet. We're going to get to that in a moment. But I want you to understand how you feel right at that moment, where your posture is. Because today we're talking about something that almost every person struggles with. It's something you might not think about until it starts controlling your everyday, and it's your posture. And we're engaging in posture-related activities all the time, whether you think about it or not. When you're standing, moving, lifting, turning, looking at your phone, working on a computer. So when you think about your posture, and again, freeze a moment before you instinctively roll back your shoulders or try to crane your neck upright. Think about this. Posture today is at an all-time low. We're living in what might be the worst possible time and era in human postural history. We don't do any postural exercise on a regular basis. We're constantly doing things that are not good posture habits. And think about it. You wake up, you check your phone, you're still lying on your side in bed, right? You sit at a desk, you're sitting at a car, you're on a couch, you're in bed scrolling, right? We've become professional sitters, and our spine has adopted the shape of a question mark. Right? This is not something that builds better health and well-being. We don't do activity all day long that requires healthy posture like we did hundreds and thousands of years ago. But here's a really key part. Your posture is trainable. And this means you can train it to get better, or you can train it to get much worse. And there's an old line, there's an old tagline, back in the day. It says, as a twig is bent, so grows the tree. So if your twig has been bent for years, we're growing in some, interesting ways. Our tree is becoming really bent. Posture isn't cosmetic, right? I mean, although it is, like you look better when you have a good posture versus here, right? It's not about looking confident, although it kind of is. You look more confident when you have a good posture. But essentially, at its base foundation, it's structural. It's neurological. It's neurological and structural function. And when your posture breaks down, everything else breaks down with it. Your muscles tighten or get weak. Your ligaments strain. Your tendons are overloaded. Your fascia becomes irritated. Your joints wear down. And essentially, your nerves become irritated. And in chiropractic, we call these dysfunctional areas where the posture is lost and the nerves are irritated. We call these subluxations. But honestly, you can call them any name you want. The name isn't important. The effect is important. And the most common symptom is generally pain, but it's typically not a sharp stabbing like, I got a pain, right? It's typically a dull ache, a stiffness, a tightness, or I can't get comfortable, or I'm always shifting, or something else other than a sharp stabbing pain, although that does happen. And most times the question, why do I hurt when I didn't do anything? Why is my neck sore? I didn't do anything today. Or why is my elbow bothering me? Most of the time it's posture related. And posture problems typically don't stay in one place, right? So if you have a postural problem in your lower back, your neck might compensate, or your neck might compensate for your upper back, or your upper back compensates for your lower back, or your hips compensate for everything else. A lot of times we'll see knee pain secondary to lumbar postural problems. We see elbow pain secondary to shoulder postural problems. And soon, when there's a little bit of a shift here and there, your body is playing the worst game of all. It's like dominoes, but just an uncontrollable state of dominoes. Just everything is falling out from the center. And one of the biggest culprits, one of the biggest problems that we see today is forward head posture. Sometimes we call it text neck or anterior head syndrome. And you think about your head. It weighs about as much as a bowling ball. And when it sits directly over your shoulders, your spine, your posture is happy. But when it drifts forward, your spine is under a constant state of load. Your upper back strains, your lower back aches to keep balanced. Your muscles are constantly working overtime beyond what they were built for, just to keep you upright and facing forward. And if you multiply this by hundreds of days a year, and eventually, years upon year, everything starts to hurt. It's a cumulative progression over time where it's additive, just layer after layer after layer, right? I have an interesting perspective because I live in a community with a lot of retirees. It's an older community, and if you walk into any grocery store in our town, you'll see men and women bent so far forward that they can no longer look straight ahead. They have to do this sideways, right? This didn't happen overnight. It wasn't one bad day. They weren't born like this. This developed. They built this. They fostered this. It was a slow, gradual, invisible progression, like the frog in the pot of water that gradually heats up until it boils. The change is too slow to notice until it was too late. It's prevalent among 80-year-olds. You don't see it among 8-year-olds because it was built over time. And posture is not just about the spine. When we evaluate posture, we look at the entire kinetic chain, the shoulders, the pelvis, the feet, the head position, your muscle tone, the symmetry, if there's any spasm, trigger points, weaknesses, injury, area of dysfunction where the joint doesn't work. Maybe there's even a malformation, genetic malformation. And compensations, all of this adds up because one small deviation will affect the entire system. And it's not just about standing straight, it's how your body works together and manufactures a movement pattern that allows for coordinated activity, balance of movement. So how do you know if your posture is a problem? We could start just by looking at very simple subjective clues, like how you're feeling, right? Subjective means like, let me get an overall body assessment. Is there recurring neck pain or back pain? Is there stiffness, numbness, tingling, headaches? Maybe your breathing is a little bit difficult or shallow. Do you have digestive irritation? Sometimes even anxiety we'll see. The classic line I'll hear from patients is like, I'm fine as long as I don't move. As long as I'm resting here, I'm okay. But as soon as I move, I get some pain, right? So that's subjectively. Now, objectively, look at yourself in a mirror. Have someone take a side picture of you standing naturally. Don't cheat, stand in your natural and look at it honestly. Is your head forward like you're trying to read subtitles on a screen? Right? Are your shoulders rounded as if you're protecting something close to you? Is there a hump forming on the on the upper part of the back or the base of the neck, a dowager's hump? Do you find that when you're standing sideways in a mirror or when you're looking at yourself, you don't have much of a belly, you're not that fat, but does your belly and pelvis always stick out beyond your feet? When you're standing, do you lock your knees? Does your low back curve excessively? You could even take these pictures, have someone take them from the front and the side, send them to the office. We do an analysis just from the pictures and we can send you back and tell you where postural problems are. Especially even when you're looking at the front. Is one ear higher shoulder than the other? Are you leaning to one side? Is your head tilted? Are your shoulders not square over your feet? And then try this too. Stand up as straight as possible. Either sitting or standing. Does it feel uncomfortable? Does it feel unfamiliar? You're not sure where you should be in space. These are activities that help us to find if your posture needs work, right? Is it relieving? Is it uncomfortable to do this? These are clues we use. And then posture can cause all sorts of other problems. It can disrupt your sleep. It can create, wakeful events at night. It can create a disrupted movement, daily pain. It can reduce your ability to exercise because you're afraid, like, I don't want it to get worse, right? If these are problems you're having, don't wait. The biggest thing that I hear from people who delay care is, I thought it would just go away. It almost never does. What happens is the pain lessens because you get used to it and then it comes back a little bit more. But each time it's building and building and building and building, right? But the hopeful part is this. Posture is one of the most fixable problems in the human body. If your issues are mild or moderate, you can start with some daily stretching, general movement, walking breaks. Walking breaks. You can do yoga, Pilates, foundational training, Alexander technique. All of these things are beneficial. Even if the problem is severe, we're going to recommend you do these things anyway because they help your body move. They're real life activities that improve your posture. They retrain the brain-body connection. They reprogram your movement patterns. And then if this isn't enough, we encourage you to come into the office, seek chiropractic care, because the work that you've already done, the stretching and the movement, will make your improvement much faster and last longer and deeper. Also consider that your posture affects your pain, your movement, even your energy and your breathing and your mood, and in turn, your long-term lifespan and health span. Right? We've all been bending the twig in the wrong direction for too long. Not all of us, but many of us, right? The good news is that the human body has the ability to adapt. It can heal, it can rewire, and it remembers this. It wants to go to a lower state of stress. This is a higher state, lower state of stress. So it wants to move in that direction. So once we start the movement in that direction, you can accelerate toward being healthier and better and getting your posture better. Start today. Begin to straighten your own tree. Take a deep breath. Head up, posture up, shoulders back, stand tall. The body was built for that, right? Little steps make big improvement. As a twig is straight, so grows the tree. I want to say thanks for listening. I'm Dr. Quartell. See you in the next episode. And, again, thanks for spending some time with me today. And if this information, if this episode helped you to understand your body a little bit better, take a moment to subscribe to the show, leave a review. It helps more people discover this information, and it can, in turn change their lives and just make our whole community, our whole planet a better place to be. And if you know somebody, could be yourself, a friend, a loved one, a family member, your postal worker who's always complaining about neck pain, back pain, headaches, send this episode their way. You never know whose day you might improve, right? A little bit sometimes can go a long way. If you want to dive deeper into these concepts, you want to explore more episodes, you can read the blog recap on our website, Quartell Chiropractic. You can reach out to us. We'd love to hear from you. Give us a call, send us an email. Be happy to, give you some more information. Or even if you're ready to take the next step in your own health journey, visit us, quartellchiropractic.com, learn about how we can help you. You can even grab our book, The Body User Manual. It goes into detail about all these different steps. Once again, I'm Dr. David Quartell. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.